Did you guys see the DM that Quavo sent Saweetie? It just shows you when you look like you own some money, you don't need no game. What up YouTube, Topaz Yates back for another review, and this one is to that Rittz Picture Perfect. Now, before we can jump into the review for this album, first I gotta give you context. First I gotta give you the history of me leading up to this album so you understand my thought process going to it. Now, if you feel as though you know everything there is to know about Rittz, then feel free to skip past this to this point here, where the actual review begins. But where do we start about Rittz? Rittz is easily the best rapper of this generation that nobody really knows about like that. And it really upsets me. Now, the reason why people don't know about him is because he went the indie route, which was genius. I mean, he went up under Strange Music for quite some time, man, and he did really well. And instead of going with a major after that, he decided to set up his own brand, which is dope, because he's going to make the maximum amount of money off of that. It's very smart. But my issue is they would give you, Rittz, a distribution deal with promotion, just like how they did Macklemore, just like how they did Mac Miller. Like, you just got to go and be open to negotiate it. You make them sign your deal. You do not sign theirs. And from there, you get the best of both worlds and you can become the biggest MC on this planet just based off of this music. But for those who don't know, Rittz dropped 3 #1 albums of the year on my list. And you guys see how many videos that I do constantly, and most likely I'm not liking the music. And those were The Life and Times of Johnny Valiant, that was top of the line, and it was The Last Call. His last album, which was Put a Crown on It, that was top 3, to go along with Anderson .Paak, who was easily #1 of that entire year, and Freddie Gibbs was in there too. But Rittz was definitely top 3. Like, he has been consistently delivering quality music on a level that is unprecedented, and that's one thing that had me a bit worried coming into this project. Like, you've been in the game for so long delivering such high quality music, there comes a point where individuals no longer feel it. They no longer feel the urgency. They no longer care about delivering the best music possible. You end up falling into the same loop of doing the same things over again, and your product suffers because of it. And that would really suck, because you haven't reached the heights in which you can reach yet in this life. Now, after listening to this album and breaking it all the way down, he still got it. He still got the hunger. He's still putting forth quality music, and to be real with you, this could be a top 3 album again, if not #1. It's probably leading right now, being the #1 album of the year. And there's a lot of things to talk about here, but I guess the best place to start would be with the title song, Picture Perfect, where this is pretty much the basic concept of what this entire project is about. Where Picture Perfect is just talking about, no matter how perfect the picture looks, no matter how good an individual seems to be, if you scratch under the surface, things are usually messed up. And the way that he paints that is by looking at himself. He's supposed to be the signed MC that's super successful, that all these women want to be around, but yet he suffers through alcoholism. His entire life is pretty much a mess at all times. But then he also looks at these beautiful women that he clearly gets while on tour and all of this stuff, man, because he's Rittz. And it's like, okay, they super fine, but yet a lot of them, the hygiene ain't all the way together. Like, how could you be so beautiful and so perfect in my mind, but yet things like that are of the most importance to most women, they ain't got it? And it's because nothing is perfect. I also like the concept of that effed up day, where he's just taking us through a day of his life, where he wakes up after wilding out at night, and he does something really stupid that his neighbors probably don't even like him for anymore because of it. But then after that, he begins to delve into the drugs and all of that stuff again. And then he blacks out. He doesn't rap about anything that happened while he blacks out. He takes you directly to when he wakes up. And he's like, okay, I already know that you mad at me. You should know I don't remember. Tell me what happened. What did I do? And in this case, he tried to stab his woman's sister because she dissed Michael Jackson. And I would have did that too, but besides the point, I enjoyed that concept. I like the song Save My Life. The whole concept behind that one was fire as well, where he's pretty much telling us, music saved my life like a lot of rappers have done. But in his case, he's giving you the specific songs that he was listening to for the specific things that he was going through and how it got him through. Like, I enjoyed that to a degree, but overall, just the music and the overall feel of that track was fire. Another song I wanted to touch on, which wasn't one of my favorites, but it's an important one to talk about, and it's that Friend Zone song. Where this song, he's pretty much just talking about how guys, we get put into the friend zone by women. Now, if you go back to the intro of this video, I chose that specifically because of this song, because this is something that you have to know. These women out here will friend zone you immediately and all of that stuff, man, if you aren't making money. It doesn't matter if you treat them well. It doesn't matter if you got all the utmost game and you like to talk to them and all of that stuff, man. If you're not a provider, if you're not making a ton of money, eventually whatever relationship that you build with a woman is going to fall apart, because what these women value is the ability to survive. We value trying to have a woman. So with that in mind, you guys out there, you got to quit being so reliant and focused on getting you a woman and all of that stuff. Which, I mean, we all want one, we all want sex at all times and all that stuff. That's all cool. If you can get it, get it. But don't tie yourself down. Focus on getting your paper, build your success so that you can provide for women. And from there, all of that friend zone stuff, it goes away. Overall, there were 5 songs on this project that were fire. And they were Ain't I, Effed Up Day, which I've already talked about, Positive Vibe, Painkillers and Paint Colors, and That Saved My Life. Those were my absolute favorite songs of this project. Too bad there's not enough time for me to break down all of these joints, but it's very important that you go ahead and peep these on out. But let's go ahead and jump into the next segment where we're looking more at the bars. Rittz is a top shelf MC. He's proven it throughout his career that he's better than the vast majority, if not everybody out there. When he first came into the game, I would have said that, he's a lot like Crown Royal, as that is his favorite drink and all of that. It would have been super poetic. But over the years, as he's continued to grow and continued to drop classic works, one after another, he's evolved from that to now he is Louis the 13th of the rap game. And just like how Louis the 13th gives you taste, potency, prestige, and the highest price possible that you can probably buy stuff for, Rittz delivers lyrics, delivery, flow, overall quality of projects, consistency, production, creativity on a standard level that most people cannot achieve. When I tell you this dude is amazing, you should go back and listen to his old works and this new one. But some of my favorite bars off this project was snorting lines, my nose is as big as Snuffleupagus. That was hilarious for everybody who knows what Snuffleupagus was, the big nose puppet. How he said these chicks is stuck in their feelings, my D is a Velcro stick. As they stuck, and if you put Velcro on anything, it's usually stuck right there. I also like that, oh, you're a buff guy, tough guy, now paramedics need to do the deadlift. That was pretty slick, as the deadlift has multiple levels, where the deadlift is an exercise that powerlifters do for the most part, but also deadlift is how the paramedics is lifting up the body as they taking away, as this individual has been so focused on being a tough guy and lifting weights and all of that stuff. Like a solid bar there. Overall, this project had 5 really good songs out of 13. And in this time right now, man, especially this year, there hasn't been a ton of amazing music to come out. So this is like head and shoulders above everybody else's. But in comparison to Ritz's own work, because you should always compare someone's work to themselves, not to what everyone else is doing. This one was a solid body of work. I don't think that it was on the classic level as the first 3 albums that I talked about, but this one could wind up being another #1 album of the year, as I'm giving this joint an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely one you should peep out and get them individual individual tracks that you really want. You dig? I just could only wish that more music would be like this time and time again. But sadly, that's not the life that we're living in. But I'm about to re-listen to it right now and continue to enjoy this moment, because clearly it doesn't happen too often.